Sup, it's Assassin's Creed Reacts, and welcome to another reaction. Today I'm going to react to Matthew Santoro's Surprising Origins of Everyday Food. Now, the links are going to be in the description down below. Make sure you guys get some food and something to drink because honestly though, I feel like you guys can relate to this when I say watching a video that has to do with something with food, whether it be a cooking video or just, I don't know, like a video on some fun facts for food, like on food. I'd be hungry. Like, honestly, I'm hungry. Okay, start the action right now.
I'm not gonna lie, after watching this video, you're probably gonna be pretty hungry. Pizza, apple pie, coffee, very common foods. So,
Hey,
of
at
course,
least
there can't be anything that interesting behind them, right? Well, of
warned you
course,
guys
as
before.
it turns out, these and several others have fascinating origins that you were not going to expect. Get ready to look at that cup of joe that you have every morning in a very different way. Here are 10 surprising origins of everyday food. Number 10 is pasta. Who touched my spaghetti?
Pasta.
If I were to ask you to think of a food that is 100% Italian, you would likely say, pasta. You gotta put the meatballs in there with the marinara sauce. Mwah. Pasta is a staple of the family dinner table, with
Delicious.
many enjoying a variation of the Italian dish more than once a week. However, most historians agree that those tasty noodles didn't originate in Italy at all, but actually arrived in the country with the Arabs from Libya when they invaded in the 9th century AD. In fact, this has been pointed to as the moment that Italy's cuisine was drastically changed, as other foods such as eggplant, spinach, and sugarcane were introduced as well. Of course, it was Italians who mastered the dish, though it wasn't limited to dinner. Many enjoyed pasta as a dessert or even a treat, adding sugary flavors and eating it with their hands. I'm not gonna lie, I have a crazy sweet tooth. Put some Nutella in some noodles.
That is surprising.
Don't judge me. Number 9 is hot chocolate.
Hey, sometimes people have real cravings.
Considering the way that modern day hot chocolate is made, it would be understandable if you thought that it wasn't a very old invention. However, the truth is that a variation of that delicious sweet beverage has been around for literally thousands of years. Archaeologists have discovered evidence in Mexico that the ancient Mayans used to mash cocoa seeds into a paste and mix it with water, chili peppers, spices, and cornmeal. They would then pour that substance back and forth from a cup into a pot until it became frothy. By the way, side note, if you haven't had Mexican chocolate with the spice in it, of course, the hot cocoa that we enjoy today isn't a spicy beverage, but back then it was an esteemed drink. Hot chocolate was introduced to the European countries in 1528, where it underwent changes to deliver a more dessert-like delicacy
It's more
enjoyed by
likely
the
I'm gonna
elite.
like all of these foods.
Number 8 is
food
sausage.
items. It's on this list.
Everyone loves a good sausage.
I'm
With all
indifferent
the
about
effort that goes
sausage.
into making them, you'd think sausages were a more modern food, but they actually date back over 5,000 years. Evidence has been uncovered in what is today Iraq that ancient Sumerians who populated the region back then enjoyed a food that closely resembled sausage around 3000 BC. Much like today, making sausage was a way to ensure all the edible parts of an animal were used, all of it being ground up with salt and spices to give it a taste and longer shelf life. Traditionally, the ingredients are encased in the intestines of animals, but today it's often made with edible cellulose or even plastic. I know, all of that still sounds gross. You know what they say about sausage, if you like it, don't find out what it's made of. My bad. Number 7 is Marmite.
Never mind what I said. I'm not liking all these food
Marmite
items.
is a popular food in many countries, though its home will always be the United Kingdom. Though it's made primarily by a British company and has a French name, Marmite was actually invented by a German scientist named Justus von Liebig and he discovered the substance by accident. In the late 19th century, while working with yeast extract, a byproduct of brewing beer, Liebig found that it could be concentrated and made edible. In 1902, the Marmite Food Company was founded in Burton-on-Trent, a town in Staffordshire, England. Today, over 25 million jars are sold worldwide. And again, I really don't understand.
Gotta watch this ad. Gotta support Matthew Santoro watching this ad.
Because I've been sent this by a fan before. Oh god. Also, bonus fun fact, Liebig was dubbed the father of the fertilizer industry. That's right, Marmite was invented by a fertilizer specialist. So I guess that explains the taste. Number 6 is gelatin.
Gelatin's alright.
As odd as it may sound, gelatin apparently began as a form of glue, adhering things during ancient Egypt's long history. Archaeologists have found evidence that it was also used in paints used to make the glyphs in caves, as it helped the paint stick to the stone walls. Though it's thought to have become a food soon after, the process of making jelly was not written about in found texts until 1682. That's when Denis Papin of France recorded his research into an edible pure protein substance.
Like sometimes, like when they start recording historic events, it's not exactly when they started it, but
that's when Pearl B. Waite, a cough syrup manufacturer in Leroy, New York, and his wife May began adding fruit syrups to the otherwise bland gelatin, and the rest was wiggly jiggly history.
I love
Number 5 is the hamburger. Hamburger. When you think of fast food, more often than not, you're picturing hamburgers, a food that has a confusing name. Most patties are made of beef, not pig, so why would they be called hamburgers? Well, it turns out that it's not the meat that these delicious items are named after, but where they were invented. People had been eating beef long before the 19th century, when a chef in Hamburg, Germany, minced up some beef, mixed it with onions, garlic, salt, and pepper, and then served it in a patty form, without a bun, kind of like a steak. It wasn't until the Industrial Revolution when German immigrants to the United States began opening food carts outside of factories in Chicago and New York and put the patties on buns to save on utensils. And thus, the hamburger as we know it was born. And then my personal favorite character, the Hamburglar, came much later. Bless me, God.
I kinda had a feeling because of the name.
Number 4 is the sandwich.
Has to do something with
This may surprise you, but not only were sandwiches not named after a surname, they were invented long before they even got their name. In ancient Turkey and Greece, meats and cheeses were served on layers of bread with dips long before 1762, when John Montague IV, Earl of Sandwich, found himself gambling. Montague refused to leave a 24-hour card game and demanded his cook bring him something that
hearing this. I believe he said it on his channel before.
The unnamed chef put some meat between 2 pieces of toast, and the result was delicious. People all over England began asking for sandwiches meal, and the name evidently stuck. There's little wonder as to why it took a long time for the sandwich to catch on overseas, as in Britain, the popular type wasn't ham or tuna, but tongue. Yum. Number 3 is pizza. Sitting in the top 3 favorite foods in the United States, along with numerous other countries worldwide, pizza is a complicated food that's evolved a great deal from its ancient inventing. If you ask around, people will probably claim za was an American invention, especially if you're in America, but its origin goes much farther back than that. Pizza is a more modern version of focaccia, a flatbread-style food from ancient Rome that's been said to have originated in the region of Liguria. What really made pizza the amazing meal it is today was when tomatoes arrived in Italy from the Americas. Initially, people turned the red fruits away, believing them to be poisonous, but by the 18th century, people were adding tomato paste, cheese, and meats to what is early pizza. Number 2 is apple pie.
Apple pie.
Okay, seriously, I'm getting
I recently did a
If you
video
happen
with
to
this
live in the
lady
United
had
States,
to wait
odds are
5
pretty good
minutes
you've heard someone
for an
refer
apple
to
pie, and
something
she
as
flipped out
being as
at
American as
a
apple pie.
McDonald's.
And sure,
By the way,
apple
it was
pie
a
is
McDonald's
definitely a
apple
staple of
pie.
many diets in the country, but
I
just
thought we were gonna
how American is it? Well, it
link to
turns
that
out
video will
that
be
while
in the
it's
description
evolved as a
below.
dessert over the years, the earliest versions of it came about long before America was colonized by Europeans. In 1381, a recipe for apples being baked into an inedible crust was printed in England by Geoffrey Chaucer and included other ingredients like pears, figs, and raisins. Now you might be thinking, what about cheese on apple pie? That's American. And unfortunately, you'd be wrong.
What?
In the 1600s, England seemed to go through a dairy phase, adding salty dairy products to desserts, including pie. Wait, stop. I'm not gonna lie. I've never had cheese on apple pie. Is that a thing? Leave it in the comments
I
below. If it
never
is,
had that.
I need to try it. And number 1 is coffee. Woo, caffeine, woo, woo. That little cup of joy that allows you to get through your day and tolerate your coworkers has a long yet humorous history. That's because, believe it or not, might not have that little bit of extra energy if it weren't for goats. It's widely believed that coffee originated in Ethiopia, though several stories have been brought forward to explain its discovery, all or none of which are true. The most famous tale is that of a goat herder named Kaldi, who, upon checking on his animals, found that they were frolicking about in a more energetic way than usual. That after eating some strange red berries. In the 15th century, coffee beans were exported to Yemen, where it's believed people tried to make wine from them, and the first cup of coffee was born. Imagine that, coffee's basically Ethiopian wine. Okay, now I need breakfast and a coffee. Goodbye.
Alright. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's gonna be my first reaction video that's over 2 minutes long. Yeah, it was a really cool list. And honestly, comment down below your favorite food item that was on this list. Mine would have to be a hamburger, because I always have a craving for it. Alright, yeah, so like, comment, or what I just said, your favorite food item on this list. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Matthew Santoro's channel. Links will be in the description down below. And, well, peace.